Good afternoon, everybody. So, thyroid gland is one of the most important topics in general surgery. There are certain things that we need to know in depth in thyroid gland, and there are certain things that we just need to know, which are just facts, which they may ask as MCQs. So, we'll be dealing with each of these topic in a systematic manner. Before starting any topic, I would like to approach it in a template manner, wherein you get to know what all can they possibly ask in NEET PG from these topics, and how can we easily recollect them just before the exam. So, which is why I have made this. What you see here is a template of what all can be asked in thyroid gland. In thyroid gland, firstly, we need to know the surgical anatomy of it, and apart from that, we need to know what are the developmental anomalies. In developmental anomalies, most important three things that they can ask you is thyroglossal duct cyst, lingual thyroid, and ectopic thyroid gland, in which they may ask something about mediastinal goiter and something about lateral aberrant thyroid. Now, lateral aberrant thyroid per se is not a developmental anomaly. It's been disproved, even though it was previously thought to be, and we'll deal with that more in detail when we come to that topic. So, apart from this, you should also be knowing something regarding hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease. Now, with these things, we need to know about thyroiditis. What are the four types of thyroiditis? I'll be teaching this in a tabular manner. We need to know acute or suppurative thyroiditis, subacute or de Quervain's thyroiditis, chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis, also called as Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and chronic sclerotic thyroiditis, called as Riedel's thyroiditis. So, apart from these things, we should also know regarding solitary thyroid nodule, which was a known question even in our UG. This is also important and has been asked many times in NEET PG. With that, we'll know a bit about hypothyroidism and multinodular goiter, another major topic, and thyroid malignancies. Thyroid malignancy is very important. It's been asked multiple times, and what all can come from this? They'll ask regarding papillary carcinoma thyroid, follicular carcinoma thyroid, medullary carcinoma thyroid, anaplastic, and lymphoma. And we need to know each of these thyroid carcinomas, how they present, what age group they present in, how do you investigate them, and what is the treatment. And there are certain miscellaneous topics as well, like we need to know regarding the radioactive iodine and thyroid scan. With that, we need to know regarding thyroid function tests and TIRAD score and radiological investigations which are used in thyroid gland. This is the basic template that we can use for any surgery topic. We need to know what is the anatomy. We need to know what is the cause and pathogenesis. Some trivia factors which they may ask regarding most common, least common. Certain clinical features where you have symptoms and signs. Investigations, which can be lab or biochemical investigations with radiology, and the management based on the condition, whether it's medical or surgical. Coming to this, as you can see, a patient presents with a solitary swelling in the midline of the neck. What could it be? So, this is a thyroglossal duct cyst. To know regarding thyroglossal duct cyst, we should know a little bit regarding the anatomy. So, this is the tongue. This is the lateral lobe of thyroid gland. This is the medial lobe of thyroid gland. These are the lateral lobes, and this is the medial lobe of thyroid gland. As you can see, the medial lobe of thyroid gland has to migrate from the foramen cecum of the tongue to join the two lateral lobes of thyroid gland. And during migration, which takes place between the 5th to 8th week of intrauterine life, there will be formation of a thyroglossal duct. So this thyroglossal duct must obliterate, and generally obliterates again after the formation or fusion of the medial lobe with the two lateral lobes. So in case this duct does not regress, we will have formation of a patent thyroglossal duct, and this can lead to formation of a thyroglossal duct cyst. What is it lined by? This thyroglossal duct generally is lined by pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. So this pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium tends to produce continuous secretion, and that will be forming a cyst, and this cyst, if it ruptures, can lead to a thyroglossal fistula which can keep discharging. So what are the features of this swelling like a thyroglossal duct? Another thing we need to know that this is the most common congenital anomaly of the thyroid gland. So this will present to you as a midline swelling in the neck. It will move on protrusion of the tongue, as well as moves with deglutition. So it moves with both protrusion of tongue and deglutition. A thyroid swelling would move only with deglutition, whereas a thyroglossal duct cyst would move both with protrusion of tongue as well as deglutition. So whenever you have formation of a thyroglossal fistula, or whenever you have a thyroglossal duct, how do you diagnose this? What you need to know is it is diagnosed via ultrasound, of course first clinically, and you can use ultrasound. But what you need to remember is, do you do an FNAC in this condition? The answer is no. You can never do an FNAC on a thyroglossal cyst because that would lead to formation of a fistula. What is the approach for treatment that you use here? The treatment you use is always surgery, and that's the treatment of choice, and you do a surgery called cyst trunk. Cyst trunk surgery is basically the en bloc excision of the cyst along with the tract that it contains. So all the way from foramen cecum to through the hyoid bone to where you're getting the cyst, the entire tract of the thyroglossal duct is removed, and that is known as the cyst trunk surgery. Next, we will approach with this. What we see here is the medial part. We had dealt with the medial part migrating, and in case this tract is retained, it's called as the thyroglossal duct cyst. But what if the medial thyroid tissue does not migrate at all? that will lead to formation of this structure which is called as lingual thyroid.